Oh, hello great readers. I'm Bo-Chen.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Van Chan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you a part of A Tale of Two Cities, Book the Third, Golden Thread.
Yes.
L.
A Tale of Two Cities, Book the Third, Golden Thread. Charles Dickens. Chap. 14 The Knitting Gent Sec 2. Since their escape might depend on the saving of only a few seconds here and there. Finally, he had proposed, after anxious consideration, that Miss Prossengery, who were at liberty to leave the city, should leave it at 3 o'clock in the lightest wheeled conveyance known to that period, unencumbered with luggage. They would soon overtake the coach, and passing it and preceding it on the road, would order its horses in advance, and greatly facilitate its progress during the precious hours of the night, when delay was the most to be dreaded. Seeing in this arrangement the hope of rendering real service in that pressing emergency, Miss Pross hailed it with joy. She and Jury had beheld the coach start, had known who it was that Solomon brought, had passed some 10 minutes in tortures of suspense, and were now concluding their arrangements to follow the coach, even as Madame Defarge, taking her way through the streets, now drew nearer and nearer to those deserted lodging in which they held their consultation. Now what do you think, Mr. Cruncher? Said Miss Pross, whose agitation was so great that she could hardly speak, or stand, or move, or live. What do you think of our not starting from this courtyard? My opinion, that's it. Return, Mr. Cruncher, is as you're right. I am so distracted with fear and hope for our precious creatures, said Miss Pross, wildly crying, that I am incapable of forming any plan. Are you capable of forming any plan, my dear good Mr. I expect in a future spirit life. That's it. Return, Mr. Cruncher. I hope so. I expect in any prison you say this your blessed old head of mine. I think not. Best, said Mr. I am quite sure, Mr. No, that's it. Return, Jerry. It shall not be named to you. Second, then put things well out with this, and never no more will I interfere with mice. Whatever housekeeping arrangement that may be, said Miss Pross, striving to dry her eyes and compose herself. I have no doubt it is best that mice. I go so far as to say, that's it. Moreover, proceeded Mr. Cruncher, with a most alarming tendency to hold forth as from a pulpit and let my words, we took down and took the mice, Cruncher threw us of chat what my opinions respecting flopping has undergone a change. And add what I only hope with all my heart is mice. There. 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 Forbid it, proceeded Mr. Cruncher, with additional solemnity, additional slowness, an additional tendency to hold forth and hold out. As anything what I have ever said or done should be visited on my earnest wishes for them poor creatures now. Forbid it as we shouldn't all flop if it was anyways convenient to get him. Out of this here dismal risk. Forbid it. Mate. What I say. Forbid it. This was Mr. Cruncher's conclusion after a protracted but vain endeavour to find a better one. And still Madame Defarge, pursuing her way along the streets, came nearer and nearer. If we ever get back to our native land, said Miss Pross, you may rely upon my telling Rice. Cruncher, as much as I may be able to remember and understand of what you have so impressively said. And at all events you may be sure that I shall bear witness to your being thoroughly in earnest at this dreadful time. And pray let us think. My esteemed Mr. Stell, Madame Defarge, pursuing her way along the streets, came nearer and nearer. If you were to go before, said Miss Pross, and stop the vehicle and horses from coming here, I were to wait somewhere for me. Vista. Cruncher thought it might be best. Where could you wait for me? Asked Miss Pross. Vista. Cruncher was so bewildered that he could think of no locality but Temple Bar. Us. Temple Bar was hundreds of miles away, and Madame Defarge was drawing very near indeed. By the cathedral door, said Miss Pross. No, that's it. I said Mr. Cruncher. I am doubtful, said Mr. Cruncher, hesitating and shaking his head, about leaving of you. You see, heaven knows we don't, returned Miss Pross, but have no fear for me. Take me in at the cathedral at 3 o'clock, or as near it as you can, and I am sure it will be better than our going from here. I feel certain of it. There. Bless you. Vista. Cruncher. This accordion. And Miss Pross's two hands in quietness entreaty clasping his. decided Mr. Cruncher. With an encouraging nod or two, he immediately went out to alter the arrangements and left her by herself to follow as she had proposed. The having originated a precaution which was already in course of execution was a great relief to Miss Pross. The necessity of composing her appearance so that it should attract no special notice in the streets was another relief. She looked at her watch, and it was 20 minutes past 2. She had no time to lose, but must get ready at once. Outraged, in her extreme perturbation of the loneliness of the deserted rooms, and of half-imagined faces peeping from behind every open door in them, Miss Pross got a basin of cold water and began laving her eyes, which were swollen and red. Haunted by her feverish apprehensions, she could not bear to have her sight obscured for a minute at a time by the dripping water, but constantly paused and looked trying to see that there was no one watching her. In one of those pauses she recoiled and cried out. First she saw a figure standing in the room. The basin fell to the ground broken, and the water flowed to the feet of Madame Defarge. By strange stern ways, and through much staining blood, those feet had come to meet that water. Madame Defarge looked coldly at her, and said, "The wife of a vermint." It flashed upon Miss Pross's mind that the doors were all standing open, and would suggest the flight. Her first act was to shut them. There were 4 in the room, and she shut them all. She then placed herself before the door of the chamber which Lucy had occupied. Madame Defarge's dark eyes followed her through this rapid movement, and rested on her when it was finished. Miss Pross had nothing beautiful about her. Years had not tamed the wildness, or softened the grimace of her appearance. But she too was a determined woman in her different way, and she measured Madame Defarge with her eyes. Every inch. You might, from your appearance, be the wife of Lucifer, said Miss Pross, in her breathing. Nevertheless, you shall not get the better of me. Madame Defarge looked at her scornfully, but still with something of Miss Pross's own perception that they two were at bay. She saw a tight, odd, wiry woman before her, as Mr. Laurie had seen in the same figure a woman with a strong hand. In the years gone by, she knew full well that Miss Pross was the family's devoted friend. Miss Pross knew full well that Madame Defarge was the family's malevolent enemy. On my way yonder, said Madame Defarge, with a slight movement of her hand towards the fatal spot, where they reserve my chair and my knitting for me, I am come to make my compliments during passing. Each spoke in her own language. Neither understood the other's words. Both were very watchful, and intent to deduce from Mucka manner what the unintelligible words meant. It will do her no good to keep herself concealed from me at this moment, said Madame Defarge. To be continued.